Hello everyone. So in this lecture we'll be seeing how the transactions get executed and distributed into the blockchain, right? So this is very important part because everything in the blockchain is being stored in form of the transaction. So it can be anything. So let's say, your name, your date of birth, your any string, actually any data, any string or any data can be stored into the blockchain as a transaction. It has to be as a transaction only. That's very important, though there are some private blockchains which is started offering the different kind of solutions on top of the transaction, but ultimately at the foundational level it is always a transaction. So let's go to the example, right? So take an example in the current solution, a traditional technology based solution. Suppose let's say Alice in the US wants to send the $10 to a friend Bob in the Australia, right? So of course the default example, or it's a very obvious thing that she will execute the transaction via net banking. She will go to her bank, log in, and then she will mention the account detail, routing account number, and she will transfer the money. But the problem in this idea is that bank will take 3 to 4 days for the cross-border transaction to verify everything, because here bank is working as a third party, as we mentioned here in the fourth line, that bank is working as a third party, trusted third party for the LS. So that so she will transfer the money to the bank, or she already have the money in the bank, and she will transfer that, the bank will transfer that money to the Bob, right? So this is how the transaction happen, but it will take a lot of time because there are multiple entities involved to make that transaction. And also that bank who is working as a third party, right, a trusted third party, will take some charges because they will take some amount and fees for transacting and making the transfer. So currently I think the international transfer for the wire transfer is around $15, which is a huge amount, right? So yes, so it is not a very attractive option right now. So what are the problems? Simply 3 days, it's a very long time. Another problem is that cost is huge. Just $0.5 is just an example for $10, right? If so, you know let's say she has to transfer $5,000 to Bob for his father's critical medical operation. This can actually cost a lot because his father is having a critical medical operation. He needs instant access to that money, but it is not possible. And also the commission that third party will charge will be huge, because now we are talking about $5,000, not just $10. So the so is it possible so that we can make it quicker, faster, and almost instantly without any additional cost? Is it possible so that I can transfer $5,000 and he'll receive the $5,000? So the answer is yes, through the blockchain, right? So example would be how through blockchain. Example would be the Bitcoin or Zcash or Ethereum. So you convert your cash into the virtual currency and then transfer the virtual currency, and it will be reflected into the person's account instantly, and that person can connect, the receiving entity can convert his money into the fiat currency and then pay the bills, if that person is not taking the bitcoins. Because if that hospital is taking bitcoins, he can even pay in bitcoins and save his father's life. So that's a good example. So so how this happens? So Alice will push the money into the blockchain, and then Bob will fetch the money into the blockchain because it's a distributed ledger. Whole thing is distributed all across the globe. No need to actually travel and transfer the money. So because you transfer here in your computer, it will be pushed to the internet, and the receiving party with the same internet can actually access the file. Sorry, the money. It's like sending an email to someone. You push it to the email to the Gmail, and the receiving entity, the person will receive the money. So money transfer should be as easy as sending an email, and that's how the blockchain and the Bitcoin concept comes into the picture. So this is the one example of the complex, transaction. Just an example. So there is something called Genesis block. I would like to explain what Genesis block is. So Genesis block is the first block into the blockchain, right? So first block into the blockchain keeps the record of money owned by someone, and how and where exactly is that money. So let's say in the Genesis block it said that Alice has $10 and the Charlie has $100 in his pocket or in his wallet. So that means there are $110 economy available right now, right? In the block 2, what will happen is that Alice will transfer the $10 and Charlie will transfer $100 to James, right? And the Alice is transferring $10 to Bob, right? So they will actually announce the transaction and push it into the network, right? So in the network, there will be multiple nodes. Like let's say in this example, block node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. Every node will have a same copy of the blockchain, right? And then the once the transaction has been announced, the miners will receive the transactions and will try to add it into the new block, and will try to release the or announce the new block for the entire blockchain. So of course, since the miners will know that okay, Alice has $10 and he's transferring or she's transferring her $10 to Bob, it's possible, it's fine. So it is accepted. So Charlie has $100, he's transferring $100 to James, it is accepted, again fine. So that these two transactions will be considered as valid by the miners, and they will add it into the block and will announce the new block to everyone. Now the everyone in the node will contain the new block and will add it into the blockchain. So everybody will update his own blockchain, right? Now let's say Charlie decided to be smart, right? So Charlie said, okay, I will also transfer $50 to Bob, which he don't have. So Charlie don't have the money. So that's the called a double spend problem, right? Because Charlie is actually trying to spend the money which he already spent. So it is not possible technically. Sorry, the logically it should not be possible. But how will we handle it into the blockchain? So when this will happen, right, he will announce the transaction to everyone in the node into the blockchain. Then the miners will receive the information and will identify, because they have the entire copy of the blockchain, so they can easily deduce that, conclude that Charlie do not have money left in his pocket, right, or in his wallet. So what they will do it, they will reject the transaction instantly and will ignore everything, right, and will continue working. So this way it's easy. Everybody is aware that Charlie don't have money, so where are he, so from where he is transferring the money, so he cannot spend the money two times. That's called double spend problem that has been handled here. In block 3, now let's say now James decided to transfer $50 to Bob, which is a genuine case. As you can see that James already has $100, which is being mentioned in the block 2. So since you have the entire copy of the blockchain, you can easily conclude that okay, James has $100, let me transfer, or let James transfer $50 to Bob and increase the Bob's currency or amount, right? So that's called a public ledger, distributed, everybody has it, so everybody owns it. So everybody is the actually the accountant or the banker now, right? Because everybody can conclude this very easily, and all this works in the algorithms and the program and the softwares. There is no human intervention, there is no one who is doing this, there is no even a manual person who is doing this, all everything. So when we say miners, it's a software. When we say node, it is a software. When we say a blockchain, again it's a memory, it's a data structure exists in the memory. But the person who is transferring or receiving the money are the real person, right? So the money is transferring from one wallet to another wallet. So as you can see in the the I'll show you, I think the uh, in the Bitcoin. So let me show you to Bitinfo. Bitcoin.info. So let's say about this transaction, right? So here we'll see, right, what is the meaning of this transaction. So let me just go to the home page of this website. So let me also explain what this website means and how it works. So see, this is how the transactions are happening. Let me try to zoom it and put it in the center. So this is the entire website. This is the height of the blockchain, right? And I think this is, yes, this is the height of the blockchain. This is the number of transactions recorded in this blockchain, right? Total is sent, right? And this who relate this block to the size of the block. So this is the latest transaction. So as you can see, amounts are being transferred from one wallet to another wallet. Let's explore a transaction, right? Let me capture something. It's moving fast. I think I have clicked. Yes, I clicked on a transaction. So this is one sample transaction, simple, right? When we say unconfirmed transaction, means the transaction has been announced but it has not been recorded into the block by any miners. That's called unconfirmed transactions. So when a person or when a block actually record the transaction into the block and announce that block to the everyone, and that block is being used to build the next block, that means that transaction is confirmed and you can now access the money. So that's called the transaction. So in this example, as you can see, this is a transaction ID. This is the wallet from where the money has been transferred, and these are the receiving entity or receiving wallet where the money has been received, and this was the amount. This is the only information which is available for you right now. You cannot know, or you can never know who was the owner of this wallet, until unless that wallet owner comes and say, yes, this is me, this is my wallet. Otherwise it is not possible. That's why it is transparent, yet and still private to everyone, right? And these are the other detail that, about the we call it, the blockchain based transactions details. Yeah, so I'll go back to this. So this is how the transaction gets executed. Yeah, everything is done now. So if you have any question, let me know, and or ask a tweet. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.